I love this book so much. Hi guys, it's me again. I do hope you're safe and well. So for this week, let me share with you some of the thoughts that I have on a particular book that I just finished reading, and that is Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. So I went into this book without knowing anything. I tried to avoid reading the plot. I didn't watch any reviews. I also didn't watch the movie adaptations because by doing so, it will just spoil the fun. Wuthering Heights, which is written by her sister Emily, is the reason why I got into the classics. It actually introduced me to the beautiful world of classics. And so I really had a strong feeling that I'm going to love this book. What I didn't know is that I'm going to be crazy about it. I will try not to give any spoilers in this video. I will also not deal with any psychoanalysis readings from the book, but I will just keep it simple and just focus on the emotions it gave me as a reader.
Sir, that's very deep.
I love this book so much. If you're like me, prepare yourself to be completely vexed and irritated by a particular character in the later parts of the book. I was super irritated and angry. I didn't touch it for 3 days, but when I decided to finish it, I realized that feeling the anger and the irritation, the annoyance as a reader was necessary for me to get to the point where the ending would feel cathartic for me.
Wow! Okay.
The prose and language here is masterclass quality. The descriptions are so vivid that it's just like watching a movie. I especially love the vocabulary. One of the reasons why I love the classics is because being a non-native English speaker, I am able to learn a lot of beautiful new words. So in this particular book, I learned the word sundry, fortnight, what else? I learned what a gibbous moon is, and another word is benignant, and also the expression not a wit. It's 449 pages, but it's a very smooth read. I flew right through it. It's a very good read, very entertaining, and I just couldn't put it down.
Girl!
I picked this up because I wanted to read anything gothic during quarantine, and I googled the list of the best gothic novels, and this book would show up in every list that I found. And since I already have a copy just sitting in my shelf for a few months already, I decided to give it a go. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed that I just read this book. With the degree that I had back in uni, we were supposed to have read a lot of classics, and it's just now that I realized that there are so many classics that I haven't read yet. This is my copy. The edition that I have is an Alma Classic. It's a thick book, and I love the cover. It has a rubbery feel to it. I also love the sound that it makes whenever I do this. I have started collecting Alma Classics books. I love them because they're relatively cheap. So this is only 359 pesos. That would be like $8, and you already have a classic on your hands, so it's very nice. And I love the Alma Classics because they have notes inside this, extra materials to understand more of the author's life and her works. You can see this one. And also, another important thing is that this particular copy already has the English translations of the French sentences that a particular important character is saying in this book. So, I saw in some reviews that the books they have do not have the English translations of those French sentences. And so I would like to point that out, because even though not knowing the English meanings of the French words wouldn't change the plot at all, but I think it would be nice to understand what the French character is saying. This is a Bildungsroman novel, which means that it's a type of novel that follows a character from youth to adulthood, and which focuses on the character's maturity and growth. Examples of a Bildungsroman novels are Anne of Green Gables, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and the more modern examples would be the Harry Potter series and Paper Towns. So what made this reading experience more enjoyable and fun for me is that when I was reading this book, I was imagining a young Sean Connery as Mr. Rochester.
Sir.
So I just watched Marnie, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, a couple of weeks ago, and it's very interesting that the love triangle in this book reminded me so much of the love triangle in that movie, and assigning familiar faces to the characters in this book, in my mind, certainly elevated the whole reading experience. I was really screaming every time I would think of Sean Connery as Mr. Rochester. Once you've read the book, you have to watch the movie adaptations of Jane Eyre. You can start with the 2011 movie version, which stars Mia Wasikowska and Michael Fassbender. And as a cherry on top, you should watch the 2006 BBC series starring Ruth Wilson and Toby Stephens. You can thank me later. So that's it. I do hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I also hope this has convinced you to read Jane Eyre. It's a very good starter classics. If you want to get into the classics, you can start with this. So take care.